Okay, the next video, we're going to start to speak of product specific. And, somewhat reluctant to only speak about products because the basis of this, as introduced in the previous videos, I'm trying to kind of go into succession with, has been why we're doing what we're doing, what problem are we trying to solve, what have been some of the barriers to the acceptance of our technology, and why the legal profession specifically may be trying to stop it, scare people. We created a product we originally called Rezoud, R-E-Z-O-U-D, Haitian Creole word for resolve. One of my partners, primary partners, been with me for 12 years. Stanley Zamar, probably one of the best and most recognized non-lawyer mediators and trainers in all of Florida. If you've ever met him, he's one of the most dynamic, passionate people. I try to harness his passion. I can't yet name the person because we don't have the terms of the agreement in place, but I've been trying to entice him for over a year. He's one of the top negotiators, physical, old school negotiators that is retained now to train companies and train people on negotiations, written several books on it. And like with Stanley, we're using him because this is really, at the end of the day, electronic negotiation. But we need to label it something. The branding and labeling is everything or nothing. We've been blessed to have Dr. Dan French, who happened to be a grade school classmate, high school classmate of mine, who's a comedian, he's got a doctorate in English language rhetoric, runs a company, I think the most recent 500 balloons, I believe. 500 rockets, I'm sorry. But Dan has helped me immensely in advisory about building brands. He's seen me come up with about every brand. So we started out with Rezoud. Nobody could figure out what Rezoud was. We wanted Resolve.com. And it was some cyber squatter had bought the .com and didn't even have a website on it. And they wanted $100,000 for it when I started. We went to the word settle. Settle now, zip settle. We had a female judge to look to get involved into the business. And one of the first pieces of advice she gave us is the word settle is not good. Nobody wants to settle. We know in mediation, we polled 500 people who went through mediation in the early, mid-2000s, like 2014, 2015. And the results were 80+% of the people of the 500 people who had been through mediation didn't like it, didn't consider it a favorable experience. Why? It's a wonderful experience, but now it's convoluted and owned by the legal industry. And you got lawyer. One guy that knows I do mediation goes, I hate mediation. I said, what do you hate about it? Well, I just went through it. I go, oh, in your divorce? And I knew what he was going to say. I had to pay, of course, he's a male macho, like it's his money. I had to pay her lawyer. I had to pay my lawyer. We're in there for 8 hours. The lawyers didn't want to resolve. The mediator got paid. We paid for the room mediation, and nothing got resolved. It's the economic model, guys, of how services are delivered in the legal industry and the expectations and the norms. Technology and AI is going to change that. So specifically today, I'm here to talk to you in this video about a name that we've taken a lot of criticism for, a brand, avoidcourt.com. We try to be, Cognitive Resolution Solutions is the parent company, Cognitive Resolution Solutions Corporation. We build dispute resolution systems. We do dispute system design. We do dispute system design consulting. Any government or court out there that wants to do vendor selection, hire us. Okay? But here it is in this video to talk to you about Avoid Court. I love the brand. I started out envisioning a small claims court in the sky. What is a small claims court in the sky? It's disputes that don't need to go to court. Credit disputes, landlord disputes, small claims, lawsuits under certain dollar thresholds. Pretty much a lot encompassing disputes, if not a majority of disputes, could be handled with this kind of technology and avoid court. Oh my gosh, my name is David. David and Goliath. You know, Goliath being the legal industry. You're getting ready to take on a battle, and they're going to sue the hell out of you, and you're going to have a lot of problems with unauthorized practice of law. Bring it on. So did LegalZoom when they started. So, folks, AvoidCourt.com is a front end. It explains a process based on our TDR methodology that's AI driven, based on our new patent. Now, if you looked out today, well, I gotta go see this website, I wanna buy something, don't. There's a new website coming. We didn't want our competitors to know what we're doing and the elements of the patent too early. We gave a little hint last year and when we applied for the patent, and just a wet thing. And we've been out there now for 11 years, but we're about ready to make huge strides and start making a lot of noise, and this video is part of that process. AvoidCourt.com is positioned to be a place that consumers can go. We're doing in a relationship and partnership with Google. And we see Google, they manufacture these phones or operating systems of these phones, non-Apple. Apple's the other, mentioned in other videos. We want you to be able to download an app. We're going to have a game to teach you how to use this technology. And, there's no owner's or a user's manual. You don't have to go to any training to use any website. If you do, it's poorly designed. Used to, when you bought a new computer system, every man in a company had to go through weeks, days, hours, X number of training and whatever to do that on a website. But this technology is so new, we thought the game would be a great way to introduce it. But basically, you can begin by putting in your name, your address, pull down box in the type of conflict. The party on the other side are parties. We notify the other parties. We invite you to participate. We assess a fee. We take a credit card. We start out with an hour for free. We're going to likely, it makes people in my company nervous. I wanted to, satisfaction guaranteed. If we don't resolve it, you don't pay. We're using AI. We have human-assisted AI, human supervised AI. Again, plays to our technology-enhanced dispute resolution with a human element. But that's AvoidCourt.com, folks. Pretty simple. But AvoidCourt.com is a website. When you say open case, that takes you to the dispute engine, okay, developed by Cognitive Resolution Solutions. But for that matter, we can white label and label it anything. AvoidCourt.com is just a label to give you information, to funnel you in, as I said in the previous videos, to use it down our dispute resolution. We've given some thought. When we launched Resued in the initial version of Settle Now, there was 4 buttons: courts, lawyers, businesses, and consumers. So it's been recommended how difficult it is to build brands that Resolve.site, which I'll talk about in the next video, maybe has a button that says consumers, and that button is the logo for AvoidCourt.com. Gives consumers the right to not go to court. Gives the consumers an alternative to click for an inexpensive option to resolve any kind of dispute. So that's a net summary of AvoidCourt.com. There's more, but hopefully that gives you that. We have customers, and because of our relationship with Google, we're playing the public sector side, which is the courts, the lawyer side. Could be business or the courts aligning. But someone asked, and I'll kind of conclude with this: does AvoidCourt only consumers, or does it do businesses? Businesses. We have a mediation clause. 99% of the contracts we sign in today's world, any of us as consumers, any type of business to business, business to consumer, we sign a contract, and it's usually a mediation clause. I mentioned earlier, they're ambiguous. We can give you the text, and the thing will say, if there's a dispute, we agree to keep it confidential. Go to an independent third-party source, AvoidCourt.com, attempt to resolve it, and if you can't resolve it quickly and confidentially and inexpensively, then proceed to litigation and your constitutional, federal and state constitutional rights to a lawsuit and protections of the legal system. But if you can resolve it without lawyers, without going to court, why not try it? And it's a very simple process. That's how we position AvoidCourt.com. Thanks for your time.